So hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 81 of my F1 Manager Save. Now, if you watched the last episode, you got to saw probably the worst display of team principling, strategizing, everything from me. I was shocking, and really it showed in the results. 18th and 19th for Lando Norris and Mick Schumacher. It was a shocking day, and it made a big difference in the standings as well. Red Bull really caught us up in the constructors' standings, now just 6 points behind us. But Lando Norris has still got a commanding lead in the driver's standings. So we are still leading both championships going into today's race, which is the French Grand Prix, the Circuit Paul Ricard. Some people love it, some people hate it. I do like this circuit, I must admit. Sebastian Vettel's got the lap record around here, 132.7. Expected strategy is a one stop from medium onto hards. Soft, maybe not optimal around here. Maybe we'll get some wet weather so I can mess it up again, but who knows? We've not done a bad job at all so far this season, but the last race, hopefully, was just a blip. If I do sound a little bit funny, it's because the hay fever is very strong on our way to France today, so that's the reason for that. But I'm going to get through practice, and I'll see you in qualifying for the French Grand Prix. See, join us then. Final flying lap in Q3. We've absolutely cruised through the first two qualifying sessions with both Norris and Mick Schumacher. Mick Schumacher is vastly improving. We can see that in his performances, both in qualifying and the races. Lando Norris set that first time on a set of scrub soft tyres. Can he improve here and get pole position? He's green through the first and second sectors. We've not had a purple. Lando Norris goes up towards the line. Is he going to manage to get pole position here in France this afternoon? He goes P3, only P3. Mick Schumacher just coming across the line. Can he improve? He goes up to P5. So it's P3 and P5 for our two guys on Sunday at the French Grand Prix. Max Verstappen is looking particularly imperious so far. Esteban Ocon has got a grid penalty, an engine penalty, so he's going to drop down the standings a little bit. It's going to be Verstappen and Norris on the front row. Let's have a look at the strategies.
It's race day, with the teams and drivers ready and raring to go.
We saw a reasonably good qualifying performance from Ferrari, and they certainly have a good chance to capitalise during the race. It was a pleasure to watch Red Bull's excellent performance during qualifying. Their drivers will now be looking ahead to the race itself and hoping to capitalise. And the race will be taking place under blue skies. That means the teams should be able to apply their strategies without any added complications.
And this should be a fitting race then to end a tremendously tense weekend here at the French Grand Prix.
Right guys, we're not going to do anything too crazy. I've had a look at the different strategies. I think we both need to start on the medium compounder tyre. Mick needs to start on that to make sure he can keep pace with the front runners. Lando, a little bit different. If Max starts on the medium, I don't want him just running away with it. And plus, if there is a safety car, there's not a lot of chance for a safety car here, but if there is, I would like the hards to go on to. We had a look at a two-stop to see if that would be viable. I couldn't quite make it work with the data that we had. So it's medium onto hard, stopping around at lap 22 for both cars, second and fourth. Let's get to 5 red lights.
This is it. It's time for the French Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And away we go. Straight away, it looked like Mick Schumacher got a belting start, but Charles Leclerc is up alongside. Lando Norris covers off Charles Leclerc, but Mick Schumacher currently up to P3 as they go around the left-hander. It's Max Verstappen got away well, but Mick Schumacher is looking in prime position here to take P3, and he's jumped Charles Leclerc off the start. And to be fair to Mick Schumacher, he just looked like he had a blistering start. We've got behind the two McLarens battling with the Lotus Renault of Guan Yu Zhou. That Lotus Renault has looked particularly quick this weekend, but as we lead away, it's Max Verstappen in P1, followed by Lando Norris. Mick Schumacher in P3. It's Ferrari 2 and 3 at this moment. Charles Leclerc in P4. He'll be disappointed that he lost that off the start, but as we can see, Lando Norris going for a move on Max Verstappen. He will have the inside line coming out of that next corner, and as we ride on board with Lando Norris, is he going to manage to get the jump on Max Verstappen? That straight line speed of that Red Bull looking particularly imperious. Is Lando going to keep his nose in? He looks like he certainly is. Lando Norris doesn't manage to get it done and decides to sit in behind Mick Schumacher, but he's looking particularly punchy in the Ferrari. You'll notice at the bottom, we've took a bit of fuel out. We seem to be finishing Grand Prix with a lot of fuel. We've decided to take some of that fuel out, and maybe that's what paid dividends off the start. We may have to do a bit of fuel saving throughout the race, but the idea was, let's get a good start and go from there. So as we come to the end of lap 1, it is Max Verstappen who leads from Lando Norris. Mick Schumacher in P3, then comes Charles Leclerc, the two McLarens of Perez and Danny Ricciardo in P5 and 6. Guan Yu Zhou in the Lotus Renault in P7, Sainz P8, Sargent P9, Vettel P10, Ocon, who remember qualified second, he's all the way back down in P19 after taking some engine penalties. Lap 2. The Ferraris are looking very quick. Lando Norris just got the fastest lap, but then Mick Schumacher bettered that. Obviously both of these guys got the DRS at this moment in time. We are starting to see a little gap created between Leclerc in P4 and Danny Ricciardo in P5. Mick Schumacher very much having a look at Lando Norris. We are going to be telling Mick Schumacher not to fight his teammate. We don't see the need to fight at this moment in time. He's got to just continue to stay in P3, but he looks like he's got all the pace in the world this afternoon. Mick Schumacher, he's enjoying his time around France, and Lando Norris, he's looking at the back of that Red Bull, and Max Verstappen at this moment in time defending very, very well indeed. As you can see at the bottom, we have gained a little bit of fuel already on lap 4, so I'm hoping by the end of the Grand Prix we should be okay for fuel. Strategy is going to play pivotal in this point in the Grand Prix. We need to get our two guys in, obviously, at the right time. We can't double stack, and if we can get them out into clean air and use the tyres, I reckon we could be in with a good chance here. But Max Verstappen, he's leading the race, but our guys are just keeping on to the back of him. Lap 4. And it took a few laps, but Lando Norris with that DRS has managed to take the lead of the Grand Prix. He got the DRS down the start finish straight. You can see Mick Schumacher having a little look up the inside there, but by the time he got through turns 2 and 3, Lando Norris was in numero uno. I understand that's Italian. I will get the French in a little bit later, trust me. I'm trying to get all these languages in. We try and keep it creative here. We enjoyed that in the Ferrari garage. Numero uno indeed now is Lando Norris in that garage. Mick Schumacher now tagging onto the back of Max Verstappen. We are getting a little bit of fuel back. That's a bit reassuring. I reckon by the end of the race we could be in a decent position. But look at Mick Schumacher just keeping an eye on this front two, and Mick Schumacher seems to have the pace this weekend. When we've got development points on Mick Schumacher, we've put it on his cornering. That's allowed him to sort of build his pace. He's still only an 80 rated driver. There were calls a few races ago to get rid of him, but to be fair to Mick, he's starting to show, and he's starting to look like a Ferrari driver, and he's starting to feel comfortable in that car. Something that we've not managed to do when trying out the F1 games, which we're going to be looking at for the upcoming series. We're going to be doing another series on F1 Manager 23 as well. But Mick Schumacher at this moment in time looking very, very promising indeed. And Lando Norris leading the way and managing to fight off Max Verstappen, and we're saving a bit of fuel. Lap 7, we will have a full rundown. It's Norris from Verstappen, Schumacher obviously in P3, Leclerc P4, 4.5 second gap to Perez in P5 from Leclerc, Ricciardo P6, Sainz P7 in the Aston Martin. We like to have a look at the Aston Martin. Sargent P8, Zhou P9, Vettel in P10. But just as we said that, Max Verstappen has got the lead of the Grand Prix back. Mick Schumacher got the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Great work from him. But Max Verstappen is back in the lead with that DRS. Verstappen from Norris. Lap 11, we'll have a look at this little lock-up from George Russell. He was very much the conductor of that little train, but he's locked up into those very difficult S's at times, and the DHL Mercedes is now towards the back. In fact, he is at the very back, George Russell in that Mercedes. It's not been a good season for Mercedes. It is a team that we're looking at for F1 Manager 23, so something to bear in mind there. But Lando Norris now leading again. It's back and forth between himself and Max Verstappen. Schumacher and Leclerc are keen observers behind these two. I've got to say, I'm rooting for Lando Norris, obviously, but I'm kind of rooting for Mick Schumacher at the moment as well. We're telling him not to overtake. He is the second driver, so you can understand that. But it must be said, Mick Schumacher seems to have all the pace in the world this afternoon. We are just managing to keep a little bit of fuel back as well at times, which is something we've had to keep an eye on. But Max Verstappen now leads from Norris on lap 12. we bring you back live on lap 18 because this really is a battle for the ages between Max Verstappen and Lando Norris. They are absolutely exchanging blows at the front here. As you can see, going side by side through the third sector here. It's been a fantastic race so far. Lando Norris just about nipping in front there of Max Verstappen. As you can see at the bottom, we've managed to conserve a kilo of fuel already, so I'm happy with that. I wouldn't be too disappointed if Lando Norris drops behind a little bit here just to get DRS, which he will do down at the start, finish straight. Interesting on strategy, we are looking at a 27-second time for the pit stops, and at the moment there's only Tsunoda at the very back who could affect that. So we're looking, is it worth getting in early, putting a bit in there and trying to extend the gap to these guys, or do we just do what they do? It's going to be very interesting. Either Verstappen or Leclerc will pit at some point. They're obviously not going to double stack, neither are we. It's all about getting the strategy calls right here. My temptation is to get Mick Schumacher in a lap earlier, try and undercut and try and get him in front of Verstappen. There is something to look at there. George Russell's just locked up again. We'll have another look at this because George Russell is not enjoying driving this Ferrari. He's done it in the exact same position. He obviously just doesn't like that corner. But Norris and Mick Schumacher both ticking along. Pit stop window coming up very shortly. First one of the leading pack has pulled the trigger, and it is Charles Leclerc. We're now going to pull the trigger with Mick Schumacher. We're going to react to that and get him in the next lap. I'm very intrigued to see where Charles Leclerc comes out here. If so, I reckon Lando Norris might also be in the lap after. We're going to run a lap longer with Lando Norris. We're going to try the overcut. He's now leading this race. Let's see, where is Charles Leclerc come out? Has he come out in much traffic? He's got a Mercedes in front of him. But apart from that, he's got a little gaggle of cars behind him. Mick Schumacher needs to put it in this lap to ensure that he's in front of Charles Leclerc. He's using that DRS very effectively. Mick Schumacher is going to be in this lap. And here we go then, people. Lap 22. Will Max Verstappen come in? He will. He will. Max Verstappen is in. Lando Norris is going to be told to aggressively attack the tyres and use the ERS on this lap. What we will do, we will just get the pit stop sorted for Lando Norris. That's going to be the next lap. Mick Schumacher is in. Let's keep an eye on this. Is it a good stop? We hope it is. 2.3 seconds. It's a slight hold. Verstappen does get out in front. That Red Bull pit crew doing very well there. Now let's see where these two come out. This could be a pivotal point in this race, and more importantly, where is Charles Leclerc? Charles Leclerc coming down the start finish straight now. Schumacher and Verstappen coming out of the pits. Is Charles Leclerc going to manage to get out in front of these two? He's not going to manage to get out in front of Verstappen, but he has managed to jump Mick Schumacher. So Mick Schumacher now out behind Bottas and Leclerc. He's lost the place at that pit stop. Lando Norris in very shortly. Right, two things to look at. We're going to look at Lando Norris coming into the pits, but I've got to say Mick Schumacher has possibly just pulled off the most important overtake of this of this race, because he got Valtteri Bottas on used hard in front of him. He got the two Red Bulls in front of that. He had to get past him, and he certainly did. Down that DRS straight, got past Valtteri Bottas, got the job done, and now he can tag onto the back of those Red Bulls. We're just keeping an eye on this on the left-hand side as well, just to ensure that he stays in touch with the two Red Bulls. It's a 2.5 second stop for Lando Norris. Remember, he was using all the ERS on that in lap. Let's have a look to see where he comes out here as he's tottering down the pit lane. Where is Verstappen coming out of the final corner? Lando Norris possibly could have got in front here. He's also got DRS, Mick Schumacher. We can see the two Red Bulls, and Lando Norris is out in front. He's used a bit of his ERS, we understand that, but he's out in front of Verstappen and Leclerc. That's absolutely ideal for Lando Norris, and if he could break DRS, that would be even better. We're going to tell him to just keep going on the ERS, and if he can break the DRS of Max Verstappen, this could be absolutely huge. We're looking at Max Verstappen. Is he going to get DRS down this long straight? I believe he is. Let's just keep an eye on Verstappen's rear wing. He is. Let's save the ERS. There's no need for us to burn that. Mick Schumacher back in the fight. He's pretty much as you were. Norris, Verstappen, Leclerc's overtake Schumacher, but Schumacher still got a lot of chance to do very well in this race. Lap 24. Lap 27, we have got some traffic. We've got Verstappen who's managed to get past Sargent. That's not ideal for us. We need Lando Norris to follow Verstappen through, because if he gets in front of these bike markers, this could be really, really difficult for Lando Norris, who's going to be told to use the overtake on this straight and try and get past them as quickly as he possibly can. Lando Norris got the ERS on overtake. He's moving to the left-hand side. He's going to get past Logan Sargent. Is he going to manage to get past Sebastian Vettel? I don't believe he is. Sebastian Vettel getting that DRS off Max Verstappen. Lando Norris has to compromise his line to get past Logan Sargent, who's doing him absolutely no favours there. And Lando Norris once again trying to work his magic here. If Vettel manages to stay with Verstappen, Verstappen could have just got past these guys at the right time, and he's already pulling away from Seb at this moment in time. Meanwhile, behind, Mick Schumacher, could he possibly make a decent move here? That's something else we've got to have a look at. He needs to follow Charles Leclerc through as well. He's going to be told to use the overtake down this next start finish straight, lap 27. Our guys are doing wonders, and I've got to say, Mick Schumacher again. Leclerc went for the inside. Mick Schumacher thought, I think I've got the pace this afternoon. Use the RS and burst past Charles Leclerc and Logan Sargent. And now, as you can see in front there, Lando Norris overtaking Sebastian Vettel. We've got to enjoy that in the Ferrari garage, and especially in Mick's side of the garage, because he's been absolutely superb so far this afternoon. Norris overtook Vettel. We saw that live. Norris is now back up with Verstappen. That's absolutely superb. It's whether Mick Schumacher can get past Sebastian Vettel here, and we're going to tell him once again, use the overtake. DRS is open. Can Mick Schumacher get the job done on Sebastian Vettel? It's not looking like he can at this moment in time. My idea is to use the ERS, get past Sebastian Vettel, and then we can leave Leclerc and build the gap to him. That's the idea. Schumacher chucked a right and a left there, and he's passed Sebastian Vettel using the overtake. And now, can he catch up with his teammate? This is absolutely crucial for Mick Schumacher's race. Can he catch back up with Lando Norris? I would suggest that he is going to get DRS off Lando down this start-finish straight. We watched it live, so we're not going to watch it again. Vettel and Sargent now are backing up Charles Leclerc. Mick Schumacher is losing DRS, sorry. We need this. We're going to switch it to aggressive for Lando Norris to try and ensure that he gets DRS. Can he manage to do this? Let's have a look. He's not going to get it down this straight. He is going to get it down this straight. Mick Schumacher has got DRS down that straight. That could be absolutely crucial. He's now out of battery, but he's just fading out of that 1 second gap. If we can get Lando Norris in front of Verstappen, I might be tempted to hold up Verstappen to get Mick Schumacher back into this. But meanwhile, Charles Leclerc falling further and further behind, stuck in traffic. Lap 29. This is just bonkers. Lap 30, Max Verstappen's managed to negotiate his way through this traffic. It's got to be said, our two cars haven't, and they're fighting each other to try and get through, but cannot get past Guan Yu Zhou and Sergio Perez. Sergio Perez is doing his teammate an almighty favour here, as Mick Schumacher takes the better racing line and gets past Sergio Perez. He's now on the back of he's now on the back of Checo Perez, sorry. Gets past Guan Yu Zhou. Lando Norris manages to get past Guan Yu Zhou as well, but Sergio Perez is the moving chicane here. But Lando Norris, I'm assuming he's going to get past him on the next start finish straight. We'll have a little look at the replay because we didn't see that in full. We could see it coming down this long back straight here into the right-hander. Mick Schumacher took the better racing line, then Lando Norris has followed him through, got past Guan Yu Zhou, and then it's Checo Perez who is now the moving roadblock. Then we've really got to think about how we play this for the rest of this Grand Prix, as Perez and Guan Yu Zhou both come into the pits. Schumacher and Norris both now trying to catch up with Max Verstappen, but that gap to Max Verstappen is now 2 seconds. Verstappen has played an absolute blinder there, and Mick Schumacher, we are going to let them fight towards the end, but at this moment I don't feel it's necessary. We need to just ensure that they're both using this DRS to catch up with Max Verstappen. Lap 31. Lap 36, we bring you back. We'll have a look at Zane Maloney running wide. We'll have a full rundown in a second just to bring you up to the sort of midpoint of this race. It weren't really worth an highlight, were it there? Zane Maloney running wide. Max Verstappen has checked out, 5.3 seconds a gap to the Dutchman. Very unfortunate. I feel we just got a bit unlucky with the traffic there, or the slower, the cars on the alternate strategy. And what is happening here? Lando Norris is leading away. Mick Schumacher behind him, getting that DRS. We are going to let him fight towards the end, but at the moment we don't see the need to. Charles Leclerc 2.5 seconds back. That's the gap I'm interested in at this moment in time. Vettel in P5, Ocon P6, Ricciardo P7, Bottas in P8, Magnussen in the Audi P9. Remember, Kevin Magnussen's had a belting season. Perez in P10. The two Aston Martins, Sainz and Gasly, down in P14 and 15 at this moment in time. But we are going to start to let these guys fight in a minute. We're going to see just what effect that has on the gap to Leclerc. Hopefully they just use the DRS between them. But lap 36, we're looking good for good constructors points here. So this is it then, ladies and gentlemen. Last lap of the Grand Prix. Max Verstappen's checked out, 8 seconds the gap to Lando Norris. But the battle for the ages is the inter-team fighting here between Lando Norris and Mick Schumacher. Both cars told to deploy, both cars told you are free to fight and you are free to race. This could be an excellent battle, and to be honest with you, I know I shouldn't be biased. Lando Norris is leading the championship, but what I am thinking is Mick Schumacher, what a performance he's drove today. Could he possibly beat Lando Norris? Probably for the first time this season, fair and square on track. It's going to be a great day in the constructors for Ferrari, but who is going to be the man who is on the second step of that podium? Mick Schumacher, has he just lost the chance down that DRS straight to get past Lando? Lando using the DRS very, very wisely, keeping Mick Schumacher at bay. He is in car 1, Lando Norris. There's been a reason he's in car 1. He's shown that all season so far. He's leading the Drivers' Championship, and the Ferraris are going to come home P2 and P3. Max Verstappen, he's going to be crossing the line very shortly. I was expecting a little bit more from Mick, but maybe Mick's thinking, look, Lando is in the lead of the championship. Max Verstappen is winning this race. It's probably more important that Lando gets this extra couple of points rather than me. But Max Verstappen will keep an eye on this man, because he's going to be crossing the line to win the French Grand Prix. Lando Norris and Mick Schumacher, the two Ferraris, coming home P2 and P3. Great day for Ferrari in the constructors, and I'm sure Lando won't be too disappointed about that as well. Congratulating everyone there, Lando on the radio and Mick Schumacher. It was a superb race from him, no mistakes, and some fantastic driving from him. And as he said, the car was great. This car is looking very good indeed.
And that's good enough work from Lando Norris this weekend. This is a tremendous podium result. It's joy all around for the team. And after such a fabulous drive here today, it's no surprise to see this man land on the podium.
I think we've got to be very, very proud of that, and it's a pleasure to see two Ferrari drivers up there. So the classified is Max Verstappen wins the race from Lando Norris, Mick Schumacher in P3, Charles Leclerc P4, didn't have the best day. Esteban Ocon, let's have a little look at this. He qualified in P2, remember, got a massive grid penalty due to his engines, spare engines that he took. Oh, 15 places to P5 from the back of the grid. Kevin Magnussen, P6, up 7 places. A couple of very good drives there from those two drivers. Perez and Ricciardo, those two McLaren seem to like coming in at the same time. Guan Yu Zhou in P9, and Alexander Albon was the final point scoring driver. Driver standings wise, Lando Norris 18 points up to 243. That's 65 points from Charles Leclerc now the lead. Max Verstappen in P3, but Mick Schumacher looking more and more confident in P4. Great work from him. Constructor standings wise, it was a good day for Ferrari. 33 points gained on the day. Not too bad at all, although that doesn't look correct, does it? Yes, it does. Ferrari 33 points. Red Bull gained 5 points on us today. The gap is just 1 point between ourselves and Red Bull. It's a 2-horse fight for the constructors standings. I hope you've enjoyed that one. No calamitous strategies today, just fantastic driving from both our drivers. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Ta-ra!